What's the name of that gummy bear um what's a brand of candy that sells gummy bears? Because I'm trying to remember the name of
Isn't it like something
this
like
one specific one.
no? Because Hasbro makes only toys, right? They don't make candy too.
Hasbro, that's a toy company.
It's like I
That's a
asked. Hasbro only makes. Oh, sorry, it's Haribo.
Haribo, that's the one.
That's probably why I
Those
thought Hasbro.
those suck. I'm sorry. I really don't like Hasbro's.
Haribo.
Haribo.
Like Haribo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like out of all the gummy bears I could have eaten, that one is just not the one I like.
I like those ones. Black Forest gummy bears are also pretty cool.
Have you heard of the High Elves?
I wonder.
All right, my snake party is almost complete.
Your what?
My snake party. Looking D&D.
Oh, the one I put down. So
Tiny snake. Little
Look at look,
cobra.
look
Rattlesnake.
at the party I've selected.
Um, Snake on Fire. Pupperino. Small Man. Snake. Rattle Time Snake.
Ragtime.
Oh, Ragtime Snake.
Yes.
Pupperino's just a dog. Dim.
Dwarf Wolf V Small. Snake on Fire is the best one. He's the main carry. Literally on fire.
Literally
Why
on
don't you
fire.
help do something?
We're small man. Oh, difficult to move. Probably a tadpole in disguise.
Yeah. Then what? There's Snake. Exists. Perceives the third dimension. Good. Good spider or spoiler. And then there's Ragtime Snake. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my Ragtime Snake.
Scrungo Beepus. Scrungo Beepus. Lizard Supreme. I love how his name is also his trait.
Yes, right. Scrungo Beepus. How's the Scrungo Beepus Bob?
Once you play a Scrungo Beepus, you have his trait Scrungo Beepus.
Exactly. What does it do? Scrungo Beepus.
It's like saying Sorcerer Supreme gets the trait Sorcerer Supreme. It's redundant, but it has to be said.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Alright. Maniacal.
Mm-hmm.
You ready to talk about space?
Space. We talking about space?
Yeah, we're kind of like going into more or less the space in itself, like the vastness. Like it's kind of like we're talking about space.
Okay.
What
No,
we
I,
can
I was
fly.
gonna ask, if you were talking about space in general instead of just what's your favorite planet out of the entire solar system?
Obviously it is Uranus.
Oh,
Hey, yo, Pluto, the real one. No, no. The fact that everyone calls him out for not being a planet means that we did something wrong when we first thought of him.
No, not my baby boy Pluto. All right. Well, that we have officially passed the 5-minute timer. Looks like our party for tonight. If we have any more people joining in, we'll go ahead and introduce them then. Oh, hold on. I almost forgot to add this in. Let's see.
This is off topic, but I really love this Twitter account that's called Raccoons Hourly. That every hour just posts a random raccoon.
There we go. All right. So, without further ado, let's get this out of the way. And welcome, everyone, back to another Sundays at the Lich on, where tonight's topic is going to be about space. But first, let's go ahead and do our introductions. As always, I am one of your co-hosts, Xenolich.
And I am your fellow co-host, Maniacal. Today we are also joined by our first guest, Eli.
Hello, I am always first, of course. How do you do? From the Monday group as Slime Adrian, best boy, Slime boy, and yeah.
And then,
I'm Young Dagu, aka Dean. I play Mighty Fish in the Thursday group.
hell yeah. On top of these introductions, as well, everyone, as you might see in the top left corner, we have a new indication. We do have a sub goal, so the moment we hit 10 new subs, then we'll actually be adding in a special item to the homebrew world. It is with both great pleasure and dread that I am looking forward to this goal. And we're probably going to be adding Delaware fruits to the homebrew world again, but this time tweaked to not be absolutely like broken. Maniacal might know a little bit about this.
Yeah. Also, if you're not here from any of our D&D streams and you're just here for the podcast, go ahead and hit the sub anyways. It helps out, and us in the D&D group of the server here would much appreciate it.
Exactly. But pretty much as you heard, tonight's topic is pretty much about space. Maniacal, you're the one who came up with this topic. Do you want to go ahead and give them a rundown what we're kind of talking about, and then do you want to lead the way?
Yeah. So generally, tonight's topic is just, space, like planetary bodies, constellations, what could be out there, things to that accord. Like, what is it you want to talk about? Space, essentially. For me, like, I personally like to think that what space really is just a gigantic diorama or uh, basically model of a galaxy for a higher being.
Some real Neil deGrasse Tyson type beat.
Yeah, because I find it hard to believe that something just comes into existence. Like the Big Bang, I believe, is something that happened, but I feel like there was something like a catalyst that had to have caused that instead of just boom, suddenly life. Like there's explosions in space that happen all the time, but none of them, suddenly big galaxy explosions, suddenly new life, So there had to have been a reason why our Big Bang happened and we came to existence.
Oh, we also got another theory posted in. Skittles says, my favorite space theory is that if space was infinite, the visible stars would take up the whole night sky. The theory is that because starlight does not take up the whole sky, space is finite. There is an edge and end to the universe.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I know there's an edge to our universe, like the edge of the Milky Way galaxy, and then it goes into dark space, which I don't think it's dark space per se.
Oh my god, this is gonna be a great one. From what I understand, it's outside of our own galaxy, there's other galaxies. Like dark space is a thing that's like even further beyond those, from what I understand. Or I might be wrong, and Skittles is about to like just cringe at our entire talk.
Yeah, well, beyond
Right there.
beyond the Milky Way galaxy, there's the Andromeda galaxy.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google up galaxies near us.
Andromeda is one of the popular ones. Mass Effect used it for their tragedy of a spin-off series,
Right.
which is a shame because there was a lot of promise for a space game, taking place in Andromeda. I was like, and who better to, adventure into a new galaxy than Mass Effect? But with the way they handled it, it was
Oh, here we go.
horrible.
Skittles is also adding in. Yes, the Milky Way is actually on a collision course with Andromeda, but our sun will die and kill us all before that happens.
Interesting, interesting.
Yes,
Just
indeed.
below before them, which is
Gentlemen,
millions of years.
to add into our very smart topic, I present you all with your bubble pipes, the ones that make you look smart but only emit bubbles.
I see it.
I
Oh,
here, like, at least taking it in a different spin. For me, let me at least pose this one. What do you guys think at the thought of life out there?
I think it's possible, mainly because of the fact that, the quote, like our definition of quote alien or life is very vague. So even like microorganisms is still a life on different planets, and it's also an alien to our standards. It isn't always going to be the whole big gray things with black eyes. Uh, so there is life out there. It's not just as what we expect it to be, at least to our knowledge. But like most of the planets, they are living. They just haven't went through all the phases that we have yet so far.
I,
I can't. Go ahead, Dean.
okay. I like to believe that there's something out there. Like, not necessarily like it doesn't even have to be intelligent life. Like the fact that people found bacteria in other planets means that there is organic life out there. The only problem is that something like aliens would be really hard to comprehend, especially since there's so much space in space we haven't explored yet. And I remember there being like a thing where I forgot who did this, but there was a prediction that like there's another Earth out there in the universe that has like the same parameters as Earth. So if we ever needed a planet to move to, if our planet died, we could go there. The only problem is it's like it's like 100 light, it's like several
To
million light years away from us.
I think,
Actually,
oh, I know what you're talking about. There's actually three similar planets to ours.
okay.
Insert name if you know it.
I was also gonna add in. Um, Funny enough, so how are you referring to, like, you believe that there's a chance that there's a planet exact with our exact things within our own galaxy or in other galaxies, Dean?
Not just that, but like any kind of life outside of us.
Right.
Like I can understand like planets having the same parameters as Earth can exist. It's just that because of like how advanced our civilization is, and how like and how empty space can honestly be, I would be very surprised to find life outside of us because our universe is like a really small circle compared to like the greater vastness of space. So finding any life at all is something that I think is really cool.
Mm-hmm. And Maniacal, what were you gonna say?
Well, I can't remember what the theory was called, but technically, for life to exist, there's like certain parameters that have to be met, and technically, we were an accident, or like I said, either we were an accident or we were very specifically made. So the idea of life being out there doesn't necessarily not hold weight with me, but at the same time is like trying to really think about if it is out there and it is as advanced as the nut jobs say it is, why isn't there more evidence?
Right. I'm curious as to like, how do I put it? Because okay, this is always something that will be about me when it comes to like scientific facts. I there's a huge chance that what I know is something that's like been known for the past like let's say like 5-10 years, and it turns out like the amount of information we actually have is far more vast than what we believe it to be. But that's just because I'm far like away from like the actual like community itself, and I usually am like devoted to other communities to delve even further into it.
Yeah, like one show like Ancient Aliens is a prime example of nut jobs. I like
Oh
Ancient
my
Aliens.
god.
I like Ancient Aliens just because I love what they sit there and come up with and go, you know, and they say shit like they just weren't advanced enough to make this. And I have to sit there and go, hold up, we're still researching these guys. We're still finding new archaeological digs of these things. How can you sit here and say they weren't advanced enough? They weren't fucking intelligent enough. Like, and they have to sit there and go,
Simple.
aliens did it.
They're
And you're like,
very simple idea, Maniacal. They didn't have the trip that we have today. They didn't have our technology. Look at me.
the thing is you can't sit there and say that it's aliens because you don't understand it. It's like it has to be aliens. No, clearly we as a human species have devolved as we evolved. To where you
Maniacal.
just what? Yes,
The
yes,
Egyptians
King.
couldn't possibly have made pyramids. It must have been aliens because people of color can't build things outside of their own imagination.
Here,
Of
let's also see
course.
this. Skittles is adding
Hey.
in. Well, actually, there's a few things. One, if you're actually interested in space talk, check out the Planetary Society podcast and Star Trek Radio. And at the same time, the belief of Eurocentric scientists when it comes to ancient civilizations not being smart enough to be advanced is a form of racism that's been around for forever.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, I didn't want to bring race into it, but it is usually a bunch of old white guys saying that, which is like I don't want to believe that it is racism. I want to imagine that they are just genuinely believing that it is aliens, and it's just the coincidence
it-
is really fucking high.
I know
But
you want to believe
because
it, but
what's
I
we're all
want to
aware.
believe that, but it's so hard not to just go, yeah, it's a little, it is quite racist for you to sit
um
here and say people.
like okay, here's the thing about me. There's this content creator that makes like some really funny essays called Quits and Reviews. I really don't care what your opinion is, of him is, but he made a video dedicated to like talking about like the Discovery, or not the Discovery. Yeah, I think it's the Discovery Channel.
History
When
Channel. I know
yeah,
what show.
yeah,
I know what
yeah.
show you're talking about.
He made an entire video about like alien shows specifically, and he for like a small run made T-shirts that said like aliens
They,
hate white people, because for some reason all these aliens are hanging out with everyone else except for white people, and white people have to speculate that it must have been aliens that helped them build the things that they
Oh,
did.
oh my god.
I think that's a really
Sorry.
funny concept because it's a because it is a bunch of white guys complaining.
Sorry, guys. They white people weren't cool enough to actually hang out with the aliens, which is why they can't believe it.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, yo, the Mayans really hooked up with them.
Side note: it is one of those my favorite things to look at okay, we're breaking a little away from it, but it's one of my favorite things to look at the architecture and stuff in the past because it really is nutty looking at like their belief systems based off the calendars, based off of what they had going on at the time. That in order to like it's easy to say, oh, they didn't know what we know today, which is why they're dumber. But it's also one of those things where you have to understand that that's a sense of perspective. If we did have someone who like believed what we believe now, would they would probably be the outlier and thus the idiot in the same way as someone who believes it now. I'm not saying like okay, there's certain extents that this is that what I just said will not ever be strong enough to prove itself. For example, flat earthers.
yeah, flat earthers. The thing is I don't think aliens helped any ancient society. I don't think they helped, Egyptians. I don't. It like for me, it's not race. I honestly believe that every ancient society was smarter than us because they somehow knew how to build and arrange shit to line with the stars. And I don't think that is out of the scope of possibility to where you have to sit there and go, aliens. No, they understood space just as well, not just as well, but they understood space well enough to go, when these stars are in this position during this time of the year, this is when summer, and they were able to plan against that. And it's not something that even the smartest person in the world can't figure, the dumbest person in the world can't figure out. It's just looking up into the sky and memorizing patterns. It's fucking simple. It takes a strong mind to sit there and memorize all that, but it doesn't take a genius to just go, hey, stars change, sun tilts at this angle. It's just a very observant person who just notices their surroundings of the world.
You also have to remember that, like, when it comes to things that we don't have the full scope of knowledge to, it ends up leaving a lot of room for conspirators, which oftentimes makes like discussions a lot harder to make because you oftentimes end up with people who either take the work too literal or have to speculate a lot so that some ideas fit more in line with their beliefs rather than like what is factually true.
Yeah,
Which
like do a
is
lot of mental gymnastics in order to prove their own agenda. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
for their
mostly
own.
how conspiracy theories are made.
yeah. Which is insane because which genuinely ruins history because it's basically historians get to make history. That is how a historian works. And when a historian feels the need to manipulate very vague historical text to a certain parameter that they feel needed is insane, which then ruins the actual history of the civilization. But that is why I'm fascinated by space, because space, we have all come to the conclusion that space is uncompromisably ununderstandable.
Yeah,
Like
like
you
no.
can sit like you can sit there and try and bend space to your own agenda, but as long as you have a telescope and an open mind, you can look up there and go, I think that's bullshit.
Yes, like it's. I like the idea that we don't really know anything about space at all. Uh, like even though like it is unfortunate that we legit know nothing about it, it's very it's kind of cool that we don't know anything about it because then it makes our minds wander without real uh, without anything really being pinpointed to being false and or true. Uh,
Exactly.
Another thing too that I kind of noticed throughout the years is that um when you're younger and you think of space, people talk about like all the optimism about it, and how it's like a vast world with like a bunch of possibilities where anything could be possible because we don't know anything about it yet. But space is actually really fucking scary, actually, because because up there it's like very dark, like extremely black. Um, you can suffocate. You're extremely cold up there if you aren't protected. Uh, like there's absolutely nothing but oblivion, and like there's just like, huh?
I was gonna add in as well. Um, that we have both glitch and skills adding in that like there actually is a lot more about space knowledge that we are all presuming.
Mm. Oh, no more about.
As it's all available and free for your knowledge. We need to find more about this.
Mm.
The
But
thing that gets me is that we're also trying to monopolize space. The fact
Yes.
that
Well,
like
yeah.
The fact that
What?
the fact in like a couple years, Elon Musk will make like Mars a resort is fucking weird to me.
That's just what we
Okay.
humans do. We see a way to make money and we take
No,
it.
no, no. That's not. I'm sorry. It's not how what humans do. It's what a capitalist does specifically.
Yeah.
It says the man who was just not seconds ago trying to get $50.
Yeah, because I'm fucking living in a capitalist society, and
I
do you
mean,
understand? Money is. Oh yeah, I'm not even gonna get into. Yes.
Cool. I know a hot button for Xeno now. That's good to know.
No. That is. I'm just gonna say that was a really dumb thing to say, my man.
There are only three things guaranteed. One, taxes. Two, death. Three, there is no feasible way to enjoy what's the phrase? Like you can't enjoy things in a capitalist society.
There's a lot of things that it's like you kind of what we have these distractions, but the distractions are what are cost money. So in order to get that money, you have to work. In order to do this, you have to go through so much. And it's like I'm not even going to go into the whole like how we have to compare ourselves to other how we like to compare ourselves to other countries with different like work systems and stuff.
yeah.
Instead, let's go back into space.
Let's just go back into space and forget about our worries. Ha
Yeah.
ha
Do you have enough credits to enter this planet?
ha.
Have enough credits to know how that I can shoot this blaster at you.
That's a criminal offense. I'm reporting you to Space Australia.
Oh god, don't bring up Space Australia.
I am bringing up Space Australia. I do not care.
Oh
No.
man, space dingoes.
Why is it credits? Like, does anyone ever like? What is the monetary value of credits for a space society? Like, is it time? Is it energy? Is it like
Well,
what?
you have to remember that, like, I assume it works like in different. I think it works similar to like how we deal in the real world, where it's not just dollars. There's also pounds. Well, there's also
No,
like
no.
quid
It's
and other things.
from every space game or every space movie I've seen. They just go credits. It's like 50 credits, 500 credits, and no one actually understands what the fuck the credit system is.
It's vague enough that they don't have to explain it. But I assume like they
Bullshit.
wouldn't. Like I assume there would probably be a society that still believes in trade more than credit.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, what is backing the credit? Like, apparently, gold is what backs most
I mean,
capitalist bullshit.
well, you also have to remember that a lot of space fiction oftentimes has like a space government.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Also,
And I mean, also glitch. Yeah. There is a space force in the military. Due
Oh
to
yeah, I forgot
previous.
about that. I
Yeah.
completely forgot that we funded a space force.
Yeah. Previous former President Donald Trump made a space force, and that's been a thing ever since.
Yeah, well,
We're gonna
U.S.
we're gonna arrest aliens and not capture them.
Oh
I
yes,
mean,
we need
look,
to take.
Donald Trump was just clearly a Halo fan and was like, "Yo, we need a space force.
oh my god.
Yo, get to work
Explains
on
his
that Mjolnir armor."
explains all of his prior comments. They were all done in an Xbox lobby.
Oh fucking.
Oh God.
That actually makes way too much fucking sense. That makes way too much.
All the messed up stuff he said, it was all in an Xbox call. Don't worry about it.
God, I'm just like I'm right now like look right now on like NASA's website looking at like their latest like news releases. Trying to like see about like anything like what specifically is new in space. And there's just like trying to like look for like facts, not like oh who's the latest person to be joining them. Which granted, congratulations to them, but either way, I'm looking for information on space.
You remember
Like,
that one time, like that person like cursed at a one of their like one of their higher ups in NASA because they got hired in NASA.
Oh,
I don't know what's happened with NASA, but NASA has become like a social club more than a research facility.
Yeah, as of late, uh, I mean, it's not that. I mean, it's good, but it's also bad at the exact same time.
But at the
James Webb
same
Space
time, most conspiracy theories, or most conspirators have to believe that NASA doesn't actually research space. They're just a
I see.
front.
I see what Skittles is talking about. NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has a shiny giant mirror made of gold hexagons, and here's why.
You see those stars in the sky? They're actually cracks in the dome.
Oh yes, exactly.
Actually,
Those
no.
alignments.
Here's a really cool image of it.
That giant telescope. Mm. I wish
Close
to
your
have a
screen where you
telescope.
see text.
No.
It's gonna be so fucking cool. Have you seen the images of an online giant golden honeycomb? What we really
Here's
need is for all of those 18 mirrors to act as though they're a single monolith. Lee Fingberg, the optical telescope elemental manager for Webb. Hold on, there's more.
I'm gonna be honest. I know that like technology has to like look a certain way so that it functions properly, but that really looks like an aesthetic, honestly.
Mhm. Especially when you look at like, I think this is like a generated image for what they have planned for.
Like I don't even know why it's all in hexagon, why they're all shaped like hexagons. I just think it looks cool.
The spacer's segment shaped as such because the pieces can fit together in a way that makes it possible for the primary mirror, made up of all pieces, to be roughly circular shaped. If the segments were circular, there would be gaps between them. Roughly circular overall mirror shape is desired because the focuses the light into the most compact regions on the detectors.
That makes sense.
And then the next follow up is like, why is it gold? So why gold? For one, it's extremely reflective. It has an amazing reflectivity. Gold actually has the highest reflectivity over a very wide wavelength band. The reason you buy in build such a large telescope is to catch every individual photon he added. So you want the reflectivity of each of these coatings to be extremely high, so we don't lose photons along the way. Well, the more you know. I did not know that gold is the most reflective.
With how it shines, I would imagine it would be.
I never paid attention to the shine factor of things. So hey, there you go. Gold hexagons very important to the space telescope, because that means we can actually get a lot more information. We can get a lot more information about things that are well beyond our vision, even further than what we have thus far.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna take a look at all the stuff that we've done. Let's see.
You know what's one of my favorite planets? Or one of my favorite things about space? Go to the moon, go to Luna. Favorite thing about space. Seeing the moon makes me happy.
The moon does make me really happy too. It's definitely something where like I think one of my favorite things as a kid was always just like moving around, just like, where the fuck is the moon following me?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that I used to think like that.
Also, the moon is still tectonically active, not a dead satellite. Oh, moonquakes.
Wait, what? Moonquakes. Ooh.
We get
I
fucking
think-
falling space rocks.
Do you
I don't
guys know by chance what analog horror is?
Analog horror?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Of course. Wait, you don't know what
Um,
analog porn is?
It's basically
don't.
like a horror like story being done in the eyes of like vintage work, like old cassette film reels and stuff like that,
Mhm.
or like old static TVs, something like along those lines. One of the more popular,
So essentially, visual creepypasta.
yeah,
In a way.
basically.
Oh.
So like imagine VSS. So remember, I'm pretty sure you guys were alive during this time, or at least you used them at least once. VSH tapes. You know how you put them into like the players
Okay,
and you turn them
hold
on.
up. Let me educate you here, young
VHS.
man. A VHS tape was played on a VHS player, and it used magnetic film reel.
VHS, VCR.
Yeah.
Yeah, because basically that's the whole aesthetic of it. But basically, one of the more popular ones is about a series that the moon is a living, breathing object that actually sends down rays that turn people into monsters.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, it's meant to be very creepy, but very like vague in what it does. And they also
It's
have like footage of like people having phone calls being attacked by those monsters. But the one I'm talking about specifically, like The story revolves around the idea that the moon is a living, breathing thing that infects people when they see it.
Oh my fucking.
I feel like someone played Majora's Mask and was like, I bet I can make this moon 10 times creepier.
What is
Well,
this?
the thing is, Majora's
Uh,
Mask has a moon with a face on it.
Another
Detergent
thing.
skin bioprinter launch on NASA's SpaceX resupply mission. So it's a machine that bioprints bandages. Like bioprinting uses viable cells and biological molecules to print tissue structures.
Damn, Prey 2 looking kind of cool now.
Oh my god.
I'm
Another
gonna be honest. Prey is really cool, but like I'm surprised that you can 3D print a lot of things.
That's not even a matter of 3D printing. This is like well, okay. Because for me, when I hear 3D printing, it just makes me think of people who are, using like the varieties of different like plastic reels or whatever to 3D print like little structures. This is like different. This is like skin printing.
Yeah, it's basically doing something that it shouldn't scientifically be possible.
I mean, technically, it is scientifically possible.
I mean,
Mhm.
it's both.
Old
It's
news: the skin printer or the skin printing.
yeah, it's just. I mean, like there's skin graphing, but able to do that like as a printing
Yeah.
process.
This,
I it just blows my mind that that's actually even possible.
okay, so yeah, skin printing has been around for a while.
So,
So what I'm looking at is the article at least about the skin bioprinter's launch on NASA's SpaceX. So human
I
bodies
would,
are hard coded to do that naturally. So getting a machine to do it probably is not far off. Okay.
yeah,
Actually,
I would.
like another. Oh yeah. What? Sorry, Eli. What?
I
What
was,
did?
I was just going to mention with the whole moon with the moon one. It reminded me of the whole sun SCP where one day the sun just kind of like shoots out very deadly rays. Uh, yeah, just shoots off a lot of deadly rays and turns people into like these mush amalgamations of creatures that just goes around dragging people into the sun to be a part of this hive mind. But I
Um,
continue.
I remember there being like another analog horror series. Well, it wasn't an analog horror. It was like an ARG. And the whole point of the ARG was that the sun just disappeared. So it was just eternal night
Yes,
and monsters would come out because there's no sun.
yes, I know what you're talking about. It was a Twitter log. It was a whole Twitter log.
Yeah.
Or the person who's doing it on Twitter. Fuck, I almost forgot what I was gonna say. What were you gonna say before I interrupted you?
Oh, no, that was it. It's just that there's a lot of like very space specific like horror things that I think are really cool. Like
Hmm.
you all of you guys probably know what Doctor Who is, right?
Yeah, I'm aware of
Yeah.
it.
One of my favorite Doctor Who episodes is I forgot the name of the episode, but it was about like people going into a planet that's just one big library. And what happened is the people on the expedition wear these special suits where if you were to ever die, the suit basically preserves your last moments um inside the suit, and like your suit would like repeat your final thoughts before you passed away. So people would know like what happened after you died, if you were ever like injured in the suit. But what happens is there's like a specific monster in the planet um that is the reason why like they're on this expedition, and the monster actually like goes into the spacesuits with all these like dead bodies inside of them, and tries to kill them with it tries to kill the cast in those suits. And I think what's interesting is that
Oh.
it's where the quote "who turned down the lights" comes from, because before they died, the monster mostly hides inside the shadows. So they died in darkness, so their final moments is wondering where the lights went.
Huh. Okay. Now I'm intrigued. Wait.
There's a
Fuck.
lot of really good Doctor Who episodes. The only thing is I didn't keep up with the show long enough to like care about whatever happened like as of late.
I'm looking at I'm like having this entire like website about like because I've been trying to find like just information about space that's been released. Obviously, the latest one being the Space Telescope's Golden Eye, as Skittles is saying. But then like one thing is like sending tardigrades to the stars. No longer solely in the realm of science fiction. The possibility of interstellar travel has appeared, although we may not see it in our lifetimes. But we're getting, it's a thing.
Oh, it's there.
It's there. It's on the horizon. You know, granted, the horizon is like fucking hundreds of years from now, but we're seeing it.
You know, I'm thinking of a lot more jokes than actual like space stuff. I'm constantly reminded of that one clip. I forgot the actor who did it, but it was like I'm gonna travel to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space.
The
Oh,
planetary.
it's a old game that used God, I can't remember the genre of game, but it's basically a war game, and it's a Russian communist, and he's like, I'm going to one place that hasn't been infected with capitalism. Spice.
It was done by Tim Carey, but I forgot the name of the game.
Oh, here we go. Skittles saying the Planetary Society is working on it on interstellar travel using Carl Sagan principles, aka solar sails. Treasure Planet.
Yeah, I was thinking just that.
That's such a good movie.
I love that movie. It's a shame that that was the movie that caused like Disney to rethink 2D animated movies.
Come again?
Um Treasure Planet like bombed in the box office.
Oh
So
yes.
so because of that, they rethought their entire like their entire like funding for 2D animated movies because after Treasure Planet, Pixar started picking up steam and ended up being like Disney's main like studio.
Mm-hmm. That is
Yeah.
at least until like what I think one of the biggest things was the Renaissance era of Disney really helped revitalize hence the name of the era of animation. But
Right.
what is this? Basically, the barriers are how vast space is and how we don't have the safe and sustainable fuel. So they are funding research on solar sails. Makes sense.
By the way, Maniacal, it's the clip is from Command and Conquer.
Yeah.
What are you thinking there, Maniacal?
I zoned out for a bit, so I don't know really. Like I spaced out, if you will.
Oh my god. Well, I'm definitely. Oh, here. Let's take it to the thing about like what if you do you guys have a favorite film that is involving like either the dangers or the wonders of space?
A film?
You know, yeah, actually, even better. Yeah, film specifically, and then we'll see about games. Like for example, Skittles is Contact. Mine's is Alien.
Alien. And Predator.
I have to say
Uh,
the Riddick series.
The Riddick. I actually have not seen it.
Yeah, that or Star Wars.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to think. The thing is that like um I watched more cartoons than I did like
Right, like
There's a
live
movies.
lot of
action stuff is
cartoons.
what you're referring to.
Yeah, yeah. I
There's a lot of
think
cartoons involving space.
I know. But I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Like, are you thinking Treasure Planet? It's okay to say that if you really want to.
No, you've already mentioned it. I'm just trying to think of like other ones I probably watched. Um,
Oh,
oh,
I
there's
went.
Wally. Even though it's not really about like space
No,
itself, I do like Wally a lot.
that's still a really good pick. Wally is such a good one. Glitch is the
I
Martian.
I have one
Um,
actually
What's
that
up?
isn't just England. It's actually World at War, like the
Oh,
not like the newer one, but like the original, the older one, the one in 90s. Yeah.
all right. Hey, I'm gonna present a joke one. One that like always made me feel like weird as a child, mainly because the design of the aliens was really good. And it's the fucking the Martian one where the Martians came to kill us all and their weakness was yodeling.
um,
Oh my god.
a- Aliens from Mars or something like that.
I think that's just straight up what it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what it is.
what was
Because
that Disney cartoon that involved some type of Martian kid and he was living on like a melting pot of a space station?
Oh,
um, can't
You guys know what I'm,
remember.
you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
yes.
Kind of.
Mars Attacks, Tim Burton film. So that was the answer to my question, but I'm trying to think about Maniacals as well.
Actually, okay, this is a cartoon, not a film, but do you guys by chance know about 321 Penguins?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
actually.
Maniacal as well. They're wondering. Chat's wondering about repeating your question, like what you're trying to recall.
I'm trying to recall a space cartoon from Disney. It was back in the 90s, and it was about a Martian kid who lived on a space station with like humans, different aliens, and they were like a they were like a tourist stop or something like that.
Uh, fuck? I have no idea. Maybe it was someone in the chat will think of it. But yes,
Uh,
Dean, you were
Leroy in space. That's
Leroy
what
in
it.
space.
Roy Jenkins.
I yes. Let me get this image and I will share it. And tell me if you guys remember this. I'm gonna post it in Stream VC.
Oh, for some reason it keeps like giving me Lilo and Stitch.
Lilo and Stitch, I guess, works. Ah, you bitch.
More people, well, I don't think people remember the fact that Lilo and Stitch had a show.
I remember that so very vividly, actually.
Sorry about that, dad duties. Um, what were we talking about right now? The 321 Penguins, or are we talking about Maniacal's movie?
I
Um,
just posted a. You bitch.
What's up?
I didn't show the image.
oh, I wait. I don't remember watching this.
Nani?
Oh, it's Lloyd in space, not Leroy.
Uh,
Lloyd in
uh,
space.
Lloyd in space. Yeah. Let me try posting the image again.
Yeah, there we are. Lloyd in space.
Oh, I remember the show.
Yeah, I remember it too, but I don't remember like watching it. Watching it, I just remember it
It
existing.
it reminds me of Recess.
I think it was by the same animators as Recess.
It looks like it. Let's see. It was a Monster Alien of the Week show. Okay, makes sense. Oh, it only aired from 2001 to 2004, so it didn't have that long. It didn't have that long a run.
That's actually a
I
pretty long
mean,
run. That's
I mean
3 years.
it explains the style because I assume it was around the era of like Kim Possible and things of that sort.
Yeah. All I know is the human kid always looked stoned as hell.
Yes.
Like he was
There you
Lloyd's
go.
best friend, but he just looked cooked 24/7.
There you go. You see it? It's in Stream VC.
Yeah. See, even in this image, he's like, he, like This man just never looks.
I keep finding these.
Dude, dude, we can start a whole new meme generation with this fucker.
We bring back old early 2000 shows and just make templates with them.
That's the way memes work. It's just shit recycled.
I don't remember this show actually.
I didn't watch the Disney Channel that much growing up, so I don't remember a lot of stuff from there. I remember
watched it.
JetX, but that's the extent to how much I watched the Disney Channel.
I know they went. I know there was like a time where like they did a lot of space stuff. I mean, like a lot of space stuff.
Do you remember the Buzz Lightyear show that they had?
Yes, I do. That's another one
They
that.
there are two versions of that show. One with what's his name? The main character from the main character who the main voice actor who plays Buzz. Fuck. Tim Allen. There's a version with him as Buzz being voiced by Tim Allen, and the guy who plays Gronk in Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, you're talking about oh my god, hold on, I'm pulling him up right now.
Yeah, I forget the name of like voice actors all the time, but there are
Here you go.
two versions.
Patrick Warburton.
Yeah. So there's a version of the show being voiced by Tim Allen and Patrick Warburton. I prefer Tim Allen, but both voices do like fit pretty all right. It's just that listening to Gronk be Buzz Lightyear is funny to me.
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear itself was, you
Hey,
know,
Woody.
yeah.
Hey, Woody.
No, sorry, go for Maniacal.
I was just kind of going back to the topic of films and space because space is such a easy thing to make a show or game with because you can kind of just go with whatever.
It's not about it's not about what space can do for you, it's what you can do with space.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that perspective a lot when it comes to like people writing their own stories in a certain location. It's not about what the location can do for you, it's about what you can do for that location.
Yeah. Like if you can't do something with fucking space, man.
Well, here, let's take it in that direction then. Video games in space then. Obviously, for the biggest one, I've only played the first game, but I have all three because a friend gifted me them. I do want to like play them at some point. Maybe I'll do it on stream. Is like the Mass Effect series.
Oh. Mm. So I'm going to tell you now. The best way to play through those is to play 2 first, then 1. But I started on 1, and when I went to 2, I had a way better understanding of what was going on in 2.
I'm in the same boat as you. I've only played 1, and I've yet to go to 2 yet. So I'm probably gonna do that whenever I have a chance. Also, Glitch says
no.
Among Us.
Yeah. Oh no,
Among
my
Us.
friend. I have played through all 3 Mass Effects 10 times each
Oh,
from beginning to start.
Um
When I tell you Mass Effect is my favorite space game, I can confirm that without a doubt.
I believe that. For me, it was a matter of growing up with a friend who was exactly like that. Every single birthday, we would always find a way to get him an N7. That was the company, right? Or what it was? N7.
So N7 is a military program that is funded by the Alliance,
Okay.
where they take basically N7s or like ODSTs for the Halo universe.
Okay.
Or
Well,
Spartans, I guess.
we always found a way to do that. He had gotten every single possible collectible, and he like has all the games. Hence why he like gifted me them, because he's like, you have to play this series. And I'm like, all right. Then you have to play Dark Souls, and he's like, all right.
I can't really think of like a space game I've played when I was younger, but
Not nowadays. I
but
was like,
there
think of a space game you've played, my friend.
no, that's what I was gonna get at. Like I was going to name a couple of space games that I have either currently or have played now, but like I don't know if this counts, but like I love No More Heroes, and there's like a section in No More Heroes 2 where Travis Touchdown and his opponent just ride giant mechs and they assemble in space, and I think it's so cool.
I think they did something like that for No More Heroes 3.
Oh god.
Please don't tell me that. I haven't played it yet.
I said think, which means I have
Okay.
no idea.
Well, okay, as of late, I've gotten the chance to play Quake 1. I started playing like Doom 1 and 2,
See, now
and
those are some interesting space games.
yeah. And you guys know who Biwo is, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
It was on sale, so I bought Deep Root Galactic, and he's like the only person I play with because
Oh.
he's the only one who actually plays Deep Root Galactic.
I have a
I
I have that game. I tried it
Oh,
once.
do
yeah,
you?
same. I downloaded it last night because I've been wanting to play it, but there's never anyone to play with.
Oh my god.
We could do a session at some point, but I don't know how free you are.
I'll say.
That is a good point.
Skittle says she posted a video for us in the stream VC.
Okay.
Tim Peak chased around the ISS by a gorilla.
Oh, I've seen this. This is fucking hilarious. I love
God.
this clip.
We've done it. We made it
Oh my
finally.
god, it's just a gorilla.
Hey Hive.
Hello.
I was looking in the stream and I was like, oh, that's weird. Where did the hand come from? I was like, wait a minute, that's Hive. Space is great. Hive.
Yeah.
Name a game that involves space. We've brought up Mass Effect, Among Us, and
Deep Rock Galactic.
and Deep Rock Galactic.
One of my favorite games in space is Prey.
Oh. I think every time I see Prey, I always like tell myself I'm gonna get it when it's on sale, and when it does, I just like forget about it, or just like I'm like, no, wait.
It was
for
free on the
sale."
Epic Store last month.
The thing is that like Prey, like how do I describe it? It's called like an 0451 game. It's like a whole mythos to like certain game design games. Like if you've played something like BioShock, you'll get the hang of Deep Rock Galactic. Or not Deep Rock Galactic, Prey. Fuck. I keep mixing up names right now.
And what about you, Eli? Space game. Eli. All right. Hi. Actually, hold on here. So as far as I'm aware, the only thing I know about Prey is that it's high definition prop hunt. Tell me more.
So I don't know a lot of the story for Prey because I
I
haven't played it
do.
much, but I like it a lot. But yeah, like you don't know when enemies are really around because they like hide themselves as like cups, chairs, shit like that.
It's a game that makes you paranoid about every fucking thing in your house after
Yeah,
playing it.
it's a very big like on exploration and like getting to places your own way and making sure
Yeah.
you got
Would you like a rough like rundown of most of the game?
Yeah.
I'm good. I mean,
Oh
Okay,
wait. Hold on.
so
Wait.
oh,
Well, if
I'm gonna
if it's just for me, then
yeah,
no.
I'm gonna play it, so I don't wanna.
Oh, never mind.
well, it's just like a very bare bones explanation to it.
Hold
Um,
even then, we got someone who said no. So
Okay.
I respect that.
Spoiler Town, USA. We are not.
And oh wait, here we go.
um,
Skittles is adding on to the game. When in doubt, Halo.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah. Speaking of which, I have been on a Halo binge, and I have Skittles to thank for that.
Oh, she got
I
the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, she got me the Master Chief Collection.
I well, okay. I got Halo Infinite, but at the time I was planning to play with Monkey and Hive, and then they just immediately played a completely different game.
Hunt.
Yeah, Halo Infinite. It's Breath of the Wild in space.
Well, we were playing the multiplayer. Halo Infinite's really fun, but it's just I wish like I could select the game mode I actually want to play. You know,
Oh yeah, no,
and
because they basically turned into Fortnite.
But do they
the
have like
progression's
well
kind
they
of
don't
fucked.
I don't think they have a battle royale. But
They
They're working on it. It is something they're planning to put in.
come on, man. No, cuz like do you guys know by chance who the Act Man is?
The Act Man.
The Act Man.
The Act Man. No, I don't.
might have heard of them.
He's this guy who does a lot of really good essays that I really like, and he made an entire essay like kind of questioning why streamers really want Halo Infinite to get a battle royale when it doesn't need to.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I watched that video.
I think it's a really good essay and it brings up a lot of good points. It's just that if they're going to make a battle royale, that spits in the face of like, hey, what if people wanted to play actual Halo?
He
yeah.
made
Well,
that video because he wanted to point out that streamers, like nobody, the viewers do not care about the battle royale. The streamers only want it so they can, keep whatever kind of audience they have. But then again, they don't care.
Yeah,
Only the streamers do.
that makes sense because I'd imagine the streamers who happen to be saying this are also like the streamers who are primarily known for their battle royale gameplays.
Like the fact that people who play Warzone hate playing Warzone, but they have to keep playing it because their audience watches them play Warzone is kind of a sad concept to me. But that's probably because if I was a content creator, I wouldn't like solely make my content around one thing and one thing only.
yeah, it's kind of like what a lot of content creators were running into at one point. I
I mean,
believe it.
it happened. Well, okay, it this mostly pertains to me because of my personal history with it, but like I used to be really into TF2, so like everyone loved their TF tubers. The only problem is
Mm.
that most TF tubers have
Yeah, I
either
love
moved
Germa.
on, have either moved on to brighter pastures, or like are kind of stagnant because you can only do so many things with a game that hasn't been updated in years.
It's crazy that a lot of people who know about Germa nowadays do not know he used to make a lot of TV
Dude, he
videos.
made so many TF2 videos, especially with Star
Yeah.
or Stir now, but yeah, same difference.
Yeah, TF2 is more used in TF2 is more popular now within the animation community than it is within the gaming community.
I mean,
It's still one of the most played Steam games.
the thing is that uh how should I say it? The fact that like the Saxies exist is like incredible because like there are so many like talented SFM animators and even Gmod animators. It's just that TF2 has a lot of content in it and such a really vast community that making TF2 content of any kind is enough to get people to notice you, especially if like you have actual talent in it.
Side note:
Uh
we went off on a really far tangent. We're no
yeah,
longer in
yeah,
space.
yeah, I'm
Dude,
sorry.
we've been on tangents this entire podcast. We start with space. Space leads us to this podcast is lost in space in itself because we talk about space. Space leads us to something else, and then something then leads us back to space.
Well, I was gonna say I don't know how like we would actually bring it back. So I was gonna like quickly like try to bring up another thing about space.
Xena adds a scoreboard for every time we like go on off on a different tangent.
Yeah. Let's see. So we've done movies in space, gaming space, technically movies and shows in space. We've talked a lot. We've talked a lot and looked into space facts. So at least now we know about a golden hexagon telescope. Other than that, though, like unless there's anything else we can bring up, we've actually hit the hour mark.
Oh wow, we have we have talked for an hour. It's always a good thing. I always love it when we come up with a subject and we don't see. What I like about these podcasts is we have a subject and we use it to start conversations. Where those conversations lead us is the fun part of that.
Fair enough. But if anything, this is probably a good spot to call it here. If we'll go ahead and what's a good topic that we haven't done either at all or in a while here on the Lich Lounge.
I wouldn't know because
then bring
you
something.
guys run this longer than I've actually
No,
been here.
Then bring something
Topic
you
we
want to talk
haven't done in a while.
about. That's also eligible.
Video games.
Video games.
That one was 4 hours long.
That was 4 hours long because how did it?
That
get
was
4 hours
a
long?
different show back in the day.
Yeah.
Though.
That was a bit different show where we what was it? It was just different altogether.
Yeah. It was. But the thing is I know we had chosen to do this because that was back before I had officially become a co-host. I was about to say co-host. I was about to say co-director, but that was before I became a co-host. But we as a collective is like, all right, let's try and keep this about 2 hours. But somehow heated debates. And I
We
don't
talked
remember
about Dark Souls and how the Wii U is such an underrated console.
It's
right.
It's the sorry babe, I'm not into sex, and now let me tell you the entire Dark Souls lore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. Is we got into
Now that I have your
difficulty settings and all sorts of.
now that I have your attention, let me explain the bite of 87.
Oh God. But so a topic for next week that is
another thing brought up by the chat was I keep telling Zeno people love talking about themselves and their passion. So here we've definitely I know we recently had done a close thing, and I know Dean. Oh my, it was really cool to listen to you talk about that stuff. We had done cooking on the show, and honestly, I don't think it is wrong since it is a huge passion for some of us, myself included, that gaming can't make a redoing since last time it was before it was the Lich Lounge.
yeah.
That topic hasn't happened yet.
Technically, yes. But
Yeah,
here, let's.
Yeah, technically we've been rebranded, which means topics that we have done that have been done before must be redone again.
Yep. So it looks like that's a good one to start off. Everyone expect a long one next week. We're gonna be talking about gaming. So at least this is what I'm gonna say. Everyone here who's going to plan on being a part of it, come next week with your favorite video game. Because obviously,
of all time.
your favorite video game of all time. Because obviously you're gonna be able to talk a crap ton about it. But no, that's kind of it. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. It has been a pleasure having you all join us for today's podcast. If you guys enjoyed what we talked about today and want to support what we do here, feel free to follow and subscribe on Twitch. It goes a long way towards helping us out what we do and also hitting the sub goal. And of course, for any notifications, possible chance to participate in even content polls, follow my Twitter, check out my TikTok, join the Undead Legion Discord, and for any VODs such as today's episode, check out the Lich YouTube channel. From me, this is a good night. Everyone else.
Night.
This is a good life. I'm gonna go commit war crimes.
Bye, everyone.
Later.